going on, everybody? Welcome back to a fresh new week of Dudes Who Bet Daily, and what's going to be a monstrous week from both a horse racing and college basketball perspective. But we got to start out the show here with some rants because our man Aaron Halterman is pretty fired up about a couple things. So, Aaron, I'll let you take it away here. We'll start with the morning line rant because I want to get into that one, and then you can tell a story from what happened last night.
Well, so the morning line rant is going to be just a refresher of what happened this morning with you and I, Somich, because you text me the 2 horse that's getting ready to run at Gulfstream Park. You said, go look at the replay. This horse is 30-1 on the morning line, and I think it's a legit winner in the race. And I went and watched the replay. I was like, yeah, that horse should not be 30-1. I think you're right. And then like a minute after I text you that, the morning line maker at Gulfstream tweets out that, no, he shouldn't be 30-1. I made him 8-1. I don't know what happened. My overall theme of this, and what I want to really try to reiterate to people, don't take the morning line as gospel. Don't take the morning line as that's that horse's chances of winning the race. That is not at all what it is. The morning line is one person's opinion of where they think the money is going to go. Not even the person's opinion on who's going to win the race, where they think the money is going. It really has become a worthless tool as far as handicapping goes at most jurisdictions around the country.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, too. A lot of people who just jump into horse racing don't realize that the morning line is the estimate of the off odds by the morning line maker. It has no actual thoughts into their opinion of the horses or who they think is going to win, but it's simply what they believe the public and handicappers will make the horses break from the gate at, which is very different than what I think a lot of people expect. It's also an absolutely thankless job. Like, I think making the morning line is probably the hardest thing to do in horse racing because you're trying to predict the future. You don't have all the information. And some of the people that make the morning lines, just to be quite frank, don't bet very often, right? And so it puts them in a tough spot. And then you have scratches, like then first at Gulfstream, for instance, the morning line maker wanted to make it 8-1. Well, there are 2 scratches. So that 8-1 is going to drop naturally because of that. So it's a really tough job to do. However, I would agree with you, and I think one of the things that people don't do enough is handicap without the morning line. I mean, if you want to get better, I would be handicapping 3, 4, 5 days in advance when these cards come out without morning lines. And then, you know what? Go back and use the morning line as a tool to say, hey, this horse is 5-2. I didn't use it. Did I miss something? Right? But don't be using it as a gospel. You got to try and kind of formulate your own opinion, because when it's most profitable is when your opinion is not the same as the morning line.
Yep. That's absolutely right. And that's the whole key to it. It's a job that is very tough. And if you do it right, it takes hours and hours to do. I've known a couple of morning line makers, one being John White, that puts hours into making a line. A lot of times at these other tracks, it's really not the morning line maker's fault. He or she probably doesn't have enough time to put into it because they've got other jobs at the track. And we see that a lot in horse racing as well. So listen, I think David Aragona does a great job at NYRA. I think you can trust his lines. I think you can trust John White's lines. The rest of these, it gets a little dicey. And again, I just feel like a lot of people, especially newer people, when they get into the game and they see a horse that's 15-1, 20-1, even if they've handicapped it and they like it, they're going to look at that and go, oh, 15-1, no chance. Don't do that. Never, ever, ever do that.
Well, I cannot wait for the 2 horse who I believe is going to win this first race at Gulfstream. It's going to win, and the Twitter blow up that, they knew. It's like, well, if you watched the replay, you had a pretty good idea. This isn't a they knew horse here. This is a logical horse in a race where the morning line was misprinted, and probably 8-1 was too high anyway.
Yeah.
But, I can already see the tweets. 30-1 wins at 7-2. It's like, well, do a little research. You would have gotten to the horse. So that's the thing.
And you remember, Papa Dude, we all talked about a horse. I think it was either last week, 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago at Gulfstream, 15-1 morning line. And you're like, hey, what's a long shot we like? We both mentioned this horse was 15-1. And we all said 4-1, 9-2. Yeah. That's probably the reality. When you are a handicapper and you see it at a certain track over and over every week, you realize what's going on. And it's not they knew. It's the line was off. That's all it is,
Well, I got to say, I actually like playing Gulfstream, because if it's not the first race of a sequence, like let's say this was the second race of the day, and I can single a horse that's 30-1 on the morning line.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference in the pick 5, because even if that horse was listed at 7-2 on the morning line versus 30-1, the amount of money bet through that horse in the pick 5 is wildly different.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, yeah, exactly. A lot of people are just they're quick capping these pick 5s and go 31, chop, toss, you know, because they're not, you know, once you get, especially late, say it's the 4th leg of a sequence, and a lot of times what people do, they're starting to have to get short because they've used a lot of horses, and so they naturally try to get short to make budget. That's an auto toss. And like you said, the horse 8-1 on the morning line wouldn't have been bad, but we're still probably looking at it like, yeah, I'm not sure, you know, probably gonna be lower than that. So anyway, it brought it up. It's something we talk about a lot on the channel, but I hate to see these kind of situations because it does mislead the public. And sure, it didn't mislead us, but it does mislead a lot of the public, you know, and I hate that.
We'll flip over to a little more positive topic here. Jason, I 100% agree with you. That Woodbine bottle is awesome this year. So if you haven't seen the Kentucky Derby Woodford Reserve bottle yet, not Woodbine, Woodford Reserve bottle, Secretariat is the feature today or this year for the 50th anniversary of him winning the Kentucky Derby. Really cool bottle. Love that they did the saddle cloths on the top as well for the pop bottle. So I've already pre-purchased a couple myself. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. They're $55. You can pre-order them now. They will sell out, and they will sell out quick. So if you're interested, make sure you check out @racing_dudes on Twitter. I think I'm not sure if it was Aaron or Jared, but one of the two of you tweeted out the bottle and a link to where you can buy it. So make sure you go check that out if you're interested. All right, Aaron, story number 2 before we get into the bets for the day.
Okay, I saw something last night I've never seen in 30 plus years of watching basketball. Now, I'm going to concede that this surely has happened at some point. So I was at a girls' varsity basketball game, and a girl gets kicked out, right? So here's what happened. She's got the ball. She's dribbling. She's on her side of the court. She picks it up. And the other girl just comes naturally to when you pick the ball up, you guard the ball. You're on her because she can't move, right? The girl with the ball takes the ball, puts it over her head like she's getting ready to pass, looks the girl defending right in the face that's right next to her, and throws the ball as hard as she can right into the girl's face. The girl, I mean, just
goes down
the floor. The referee, no hesitation, kicks her out of the game. I've never seen. Obviously, I've seen people get hit in the face with a basketball before. That happens. I've never seen it intentionally done like that. I looked at my uncle, and he's like, "I've never seen that ever." Now, maybe you're trying to save the ball and you throw it, and it hits you in the head. That obviously, to intentionally. Literally looked her right in the eyes and just threw the ball right on her face. Have you guys ever seen that before?
Is she okay?
Yes. I don't know how.
She went down. Not soft.
She went down, and I said, "Oh my God, that she has to have a broken nose." And it hit her right in the nose, guy. She popped up. Well, she didn't pop up. She was down a minute. She was okay. She wasn't even bleeding. It was unbelievable.
What did the girl do that hit her when they booted her?
She high-fived the crowd and threw a towel and left.
There must be more to that story.
And was the game close?
It was 30. Get this. It was a 34-32 game.
Oh, okay.
3 minutes left in the fourth.
And she did that.
And she did that. If she didn't do that, our team would have lost the game for sure. But they ended up winning. But
had you seen any fighting between them?
She had had one warning in the first quarter.
Okay, so this was a running thing.
She made like a hard foul and like stepped over a girl.
Oh.
So yeah,
was there some sort of, is this a rivalry game?
No, not at all. No.
There has to be a backstory. I mean, there's got to be something going on with her and this team.
But those two girls somewhere else.
But
that is a
different girl that she stepped over the first time.
Oh, okay.
She threw the ball at the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we must have a hot-headed girl here.
All right, Papa Dude, I have a job for you. I want you to get on the TikTok. I want you to get on the gram, and I want you to figure out what is going on here. I guarantee you social media can solve this problem. Papa Dude, you are our guy for the investigative reporting.
I want to know what did the coach do? Did he get on her?
the coach for the girl that
Yeah.
did it almost just looked like embarrassed, disgusted. The other girls on the team were like apologizing to the other girls that it happened to.
Wow.
A couple of the opposing team actually went down and was like checking on the girls. So they were embarrassed.
And this is the last game of the year for that team too.
Yeah, and the coach was just like, I had the look on her face of like, I can't believe that just happened.
And neither team's any good. That's the other thing.
No, but
I'm not talking.
now the coach for our team was obviously he's a really good friend of mine, and
Right.
he was like, he was almost in shock. I feel like
What do you do? Like you can't. You can't be expecting.
He was
I
just
was
trying to run and like check on the girl that was down, But
I was going to that game, and Sandy's sick, and she had to go pick up the grandson after basketball practice. Well, she couldn't do it, so I had to go up and get him, and that's the reason I wasn't at that game.
You missed
something. I'm not gonna say what it was, but you missed something. Sylvain, what's up, man? Hope you're having fun there in Vegas. Let us know what you're at, where you're doing. Let us know if you like anything out there. It's gonna be out there next week, so looking forward to it. All right, let's wheel into the games today. Let's talk about some betting now. Now we're 10 minutes in, and we're talking about a girl getting hit in the face with a ball. All right, Xavier heading into Providence, laying 3.5. Total sitting at 153.5. Papa, dude, it seems like we talk about these teams all the time.
Yep.
Because they're middle of the road Big East teams that are ranked, yet play each other. So it's kind of a good game, although I don't think either is actually a good team. Who do you got here?
Yeah, and they play each other twice. That's why it's a double round robin. They play each other twice, and that's why we talk about them so much. Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. They're not great teams. I think UConn's the best team in the Big East right now. They're playing really, really well after going through a midseason slump. They've kind of come on. I've kind of gone round and round on this one too. I just don't think Xavier's that good, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with Providence. But it was tempting to take Xavier to pull out an upset tonight. However, Providence is so daggum tough. They're hard to beat, especially at home. So I'm going to go with the Friars tonight to go ahead and cover that small spread.
I'm going to take the over. These teams like to score. They don't like to play defense. Xavier especially, like when they start putting the ball in the basket, their games tend to go over here. I think this is one of those where Providence isn't going to be able to stop them, but I don't think they're going to stop Providence either. So I'll take the over, the 153.5. I think this is somewhere in the high 70s, low 80s. I think maybe even gets like 160-ish here. Aaron, who do you like?
I like Providence in this game, and I'm a pretty big fan of Xavier overall, but man, Providence, they're just a tough out. You watch their games, it's tough to beat them. They're not a flashy bunch by any means, but they're tough. So I think they're going to win this one at home. Should be a knockdown, drag out type of game. Who knows? We may get some more balls to the face in this one, Somich. We'll see.
Oh, no comment there. All right, let's head to the Big 12 here. We got Texas heading in to take on TCU. TCU, the lower ranked team, yet laying 2.5 at home. Total sitting at 148. Aaron, who do you like here?
I took the Longhorns. I think they're going to get it done tonight. I think they're a little bit more talented than TCU. I know TCU is going to be ready to play without any doubt, and this is going to be a wild, wild atmosphere. By the way, Pete Aiello was right. That horse should have been 50-1. He's running so bad. But Texas, I think Texas gets it done here. I like Texas in this spot to get the job done.
All right, Papa Dude, who do you like?
Well, this is a Big 12 game. You stay away from it. You just don't know what's going to happen. The only team you got to really look at is Kansas. Now, that's one that you go ahead and pick them because this is their time of the year to win, and they may win by – you got to watch the spread on Kansas because, they don't win very big. Yeah, this is going to be a dandy tonight. Two teams. I mean, TCU hates Texas, and everybody in Texas hates Texas. All those other schools hate them. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Frogs. It may be a 1-point game, though. I could see that. I think this will be a classic tonight. If Texas wins this, they're pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with the Frogs, mainly because I don't want to root for Texas.
Horned Frogs. Big baby. They're going to blow them out tonight. Not even going to be close. This is a tough back-to-back. Texas went into Baylor, now has to go into TCU. Two teams that absolutely hate their guts. Two of the big brother, little brother syndrome teams. Yep. TCU is going to show up in a big way. Their star, who was out 4 games, came back 2 games ago, didn't play well, played well last night. Or 2 nights ago. I think he'll be good tonight. I'm going to take TCU laying the 2.5 here. All right, let's go to my fake alma mater, Missouri -4, heading into LSU, 149.5 here. MIZ, baby. Tigers, big. We're gonna blow out LSU today. This is a bad matchup for LSU. Missouri can put the ball in the basket, beat them by 10 at home, only scoring 77. They're gonna put up like 85 tonight. Missouri, big here. Aaron?
Missouri, big. Do I go with your fake alma mater? Yes. MIZZOU, Missouri. I like them tonight.
Papa Dude?
I'll make it unanimous. I don't think Missouri's getting much respect. I think they're pretty good. And I see where they're like an 8 or a 9 seed. I think they should be a little higher than that. They're playing really well right now. LSU's in the gutter. Tough place to play. That's the only reason that's 4, I think. That and they don't get any respect. But I'm going the Tigers by 9 tonight.
All right, we'll take 9, Papa Dude. Rather have 10. I like the double digits, but we'll take 9. Yeah, LSU was okay until they got in conference, then lost like 12 straight. They finally got a win 2 games ago, but they've fallen back to the losing side of it. I don't think they're able to bust out of it here. Take a sweep there on my Tigers trying to get the job done. All right, let's head to some late night NBA action out here on the West Coast. The Pelicans traveling across the country to take on the Trailblazers, who are laying a 1.5. Total sitting at 233. Dame is on fire, man. He has been just putting up numbers left, right, and center, averaging about 32 points a game. His total is 37.5 for this one. So you're just getting juiced like crazy to the points total here for Dame. I'll start with you, Aaron. Who do you like here?
I like the Trailblazers. I really like them. I thought they'd be a little bit more favored than this, to be honest. When I was looking and trying to break this game down, I actually thought about this for my best bet. I really like them tonight at home. I think they get the job done. Pelicans, man, they just really didn't kind of develop like we thought they would early in the season. So kind of off them. Going to take the Trailblazers tonight.
Yeah, the Pelicans are one of those teams that you would like. They had everything to kind of explode. They had the assets that they wanted to make a big move at the trade deadline. That didn't happen. I still think they should have been the team that went out and tried to get Durant. Not sure how that worked out, but like they had the picks. I realize trading Zion sounds kind of crazy, but maybe it's time to trade Zion. Like that might have been a good thing to do at that time. Give me the Trailblazers. I'll lay the 1.5 as well here. Short home favorite in a place where it's very hard to play. With a team that's playing pretty well right now versus a team that seems to be on a slide. Papa Dude, who do you like?
I would not pick New Orleans for anything right now, and I think he gets over 37 probably tonight against them. I mean, they're just playing god awful. And how long are they going to wait on Zion to have a healthy season? He has never had one, right?
His last year he played every game his team was involved in was his junior year in high school.
Okay. So he obviously has problems. And so if you could have got rid of him and could have somehow got Durant, my God, why would you even hesitate? I don't think that was the case. But anyway, yeah, I'm all with you guys. Blazers easy tonight over the Pelicans.
All right, let's head over to 2 teams again we seem to talk about all the time. The 76ers heading into Miami, the Heat laying 2, total 215.5. Do you know that Miami is the worst offensive team per 100 possessions in the East? Yet they are fighting for the 6th seed in the playoffs because of their free throw numbers and their turnover numbers. I like the under here because of that. That 215.5 I think is a little bit too high. These teams played 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago, one of the two. Game ended 101-99. The zone defense for the Heat confuses the 76ers. I'm not confident the Heat win because the 76ers are better, but I'll take the under 215.5. Papa Dude, who do you like here?
Under is a no-brainer, I think, tonight. I took the Heat. I like the Heat. I like the way they play. They're tough. And the 76ers might be good and ready to lose a couple in a row. You know, they've been playing really well. So I like the Heat tonight in Miami.
Aaron?
Heat big tonight over the 76ers. I'm going the Heat big. Forget about the 76ers. They're on the road. Forget about them.
They can't score enough.
I'd take the 2 if I was taking a side. I'm not going to take a side. I'm going to take the under, but I would take the 76ers if I was betting a side here. All right, let's head out to the ice, talk about 2 games before we go into the best bets in the race of the day. Maple Leafs, -125, headed in to take on the Oilers. Total sitting at 6.5. Aaron, tell us about why you like the over.
Well, it's the Oilers, so that's always safe to bet the over. It's the Oilers. You know what? The Maple Leafs are scoring a lot right now, too. They look very, very good. I like the over. I agree. I like the Maple Leafs tonight as well. Tonight in Edmonton, I like this team. They made some good moves at the deadline. We'll see. I think they're the type. If they get out of the first round, they'll make a run. They got to get over that first round monkey. I don't know if they'll do it or not, but I do think they're going to win tonight.
I got to say, you mentioned the trades. Tip of the cap to the NHL trade deadline this year. It has been very fun. We had Kane go to the Rangers. We actually talked about it on Sunday that was going to happen. Jonathan Quick gets traded this morning. I'm like, what? How'd that happen? Like, you still have rumors around some of the Blues players that could go somewhere. Timo Meier goes out to New Jersey. Phenomenal trade deadline in the NHL. So super happy to see that go down. All right, Papa Dude, who do you like here? Leafs or Oilers?
I like the over for sure. No doubt about it. I can't see this being under 4-3, under 6.5. So I like that. I'm going to take a flyer on the Oilers tonight at home. I think they'll be ready for this game. Not sold on Toronto defensively yet. Of course, Edmonton, good Lord. They may give up 7 and win 8-7. Who knows? So I'm going to take the Oilers just in an upset tonight.
McDavid hits 50. He's the first in the NHL to do that, 61 games in. I'll go with a player prop. McDavid over 4.5 shots. He likes to shoot, and he wants to score against this Maple Leafs team. Give me over 4.5 shots for McDavid there. I think that's a pretty good one. All right, let's go to the game that Sylvain is attending tonight. I don't know if you're going to bet this one. They're not, Sylvain. This is going to be a good one. Hurricanes minus 140 headed in to take on the Golden Knights. Total sitting at 5.5. We'll start with you, Pop Dude. Who do you like here?
Well, this is another toughie. I'm not a Vegas fan at all. 5.5. This could be a 3-2. That's for sure. That's not very many goals, though. I'm going Carolina. I think they're one of the best teams in the league. I'm not real high on Vegas. I know you are, Mike. I'm not. So I'm going to go Carolina to go into Vegas and win.
I actually bet Carolina tonight, Papa Dude. I think this is a tough matchup for Vegas. And this is just the defensive style for Carolina should limit their shots, limit their opportunities, and their goaltending isn't healthy. And that's a problem when you're playing a team that's going to absolutely pepper the net. I think the Hurricanes win. I played this in a parlay with Aaron's best bet, which we'll get to in a second here. Aaron, who do you like?
Boy. The man, Sylvain, is in Vegas, and you're going against the Golden Knights. Forget about it. The Golden Knights are plus money at home. Winners. I know they've struggled. Not tonight. Golden Knights beat the Hurricanes. I wouldn't touch that total. I think it's going to be real close to that. Now, Somich, I'm shocked. I thought you'd say first period under a goal and a half here for this one.
Minus 125.
Okay.
I don't play minuses. I want plus money on those first period under goal and a half. And this is a logical one. You would expect out of conference that you have two teams that play pretty tight defensively. You would expect this is the under here. I would actually lean toward the over if you wanted to play the first period because you're getting plus money on it. And I think look, these first period bets, you need to be getting plus money if you're taking the over, the under, goal and a half. And so if I was looking either way, I'd look over. I'm not going to. I think the Hurricanes are the play here. I actually like the Hurricanes in regulation because then you can get, I think it's plus 135 on them to win the game in regulation, not overtime. So I would take that. I would take that to take the Hurricanes to a plus money bet as Aaron shakes his head.
No. No chance they win in regulation. Maybe they get lucky in a shootout, but no chance.
He doesn't like Carolina.
No,
he doesn't like the Hurricanes.
It's kind of crazy too because I'm a Vegas guy. I've been talking the Golden Knights up, but their goaltend they're playing their third and fourth stringers in goal right now. They've got injuries up and down. That's not a great place to be injured against a team that loves to shoot the puck and play defense.
We'll see. Golden Knights, Vegas Magic.
Unbelievable.
Before we leave hockey, one thing. I'm a huge Blues fan. I have no idea who won the game last night, and I can't remember the last time.
I know who won because I've been betting against the Blues every single game since they traded away their players 4 days ago, and they lost. But they always lose now.
I didn't even remember they played, and I haven't even looked this morning to see who.
That number, what was the number for minus goal and a half? Like plus 180 something, wasn't it? Or 60 something?
Kraken were minus 150, plus 185, I believe it was, for the minus goal and a half. Like, the Blues are an auto bet against, period.
Exactly.
They should be minus 250 against pretty much anyone in the NHL right now. Outside,
I thought they might actually win last night because Seattle had been playing so bad. What was the score?
5-3.
5-3. Okay.
So when you don't have any defense and you can't score,
you're not going to win.
I mean, it's really a fair assessment.
That's pretty much a given you're going to lose.
Great. Especially when your coach is reaming your top players for not trying. All right, Gulfstream race number 6.
Well, that I like.
Yeah. Going to be our race of the day. I was actually worried they might play one good game after that. There was nothing to be concerned about.
No.
All right, Gulfstream race number 6 here. We're going 5 furlongs on the turf, $75,000 optional N1X for the Phillies. I thought this was a pretty tough race. You got some speed, you got some closers. Aaron, we'll kick it off with you. Who do you like here?
It's kind of a weird situation, isn't it? Because a lot of these runners have done their best running on other surfaces besides the turf. So it is kind of strange. Yeah, a lot of synthetic runners, even a couple of dirt runners in here. I went all the way to the outside. The number 10 horse Sure Can. This horse has been running on the turf, so I thought that was kind of a plus. It's kind of the known horse. We know what she is on the turf here. 2 races back, made the turf debut, got second, ran pretty well. Last time out, second race on the turf, improved and won, like you kind of would hope the good horse would do. Gonna have to show progression again for sure. But I think she kind of sits outside all the speed and kind of gets first run on the leaders here today. So I like number 10, Sure Can, in the spot. Hopefully we get that price of 5-1.
Yeah, I looked at the 10. Dennis calling out the 1 here. I looked at the 1 for quite a while. This horse broke its maiden on the turf, came back, ran two numbers on synthetic that were significantly better than the turf breaker. Now headed back to the turf. But there's quite a bit of speed in here. So I wanted to look for someone who's going to come from just off it. And to me, that is the 5-horse alternate Rock. I'm going to put that horse on top. Breaks its maiden on dirt, heads over to turf, run twice on the turf, but in both of those races was running in $100,000 plus stakes races at Monmouth and Woodbine. Ran well in the Colleen, ended up getting second there. Got a 62 buyer. Ran behind Cairo Consort up at Woodbine. That's a tough horse. And also note the horse broke out of the 12 post going 6.5. I think this 5 furlong distance is better. I like the improve we had into the 3-year-old season. I like the fact that we took a step forward heading onto synthetic. If that last race translates back onto turf, I think the 5 alternate Rock is going to be awfully tough here. Papa Dude, who do you like?
I'm with you, Mike. I went with the 5. I think it's got the best track record, back class, whatever you call it. So I like the 5. I like the 9, not the 9, the 10 coming in second. And I also like the 9 a little bit. So I went 5, 10, 9.
I'm going to call out one more horse on today's card. I had 2 trip horses today. The other one, the 3-horse in the 5th race. This is a maiden claimers for $25,000. Go back and watch the replay on Sugar Sin last time out. Horse had a ton of run and got cut off after breaking well and getting cut off at the start as well. So I think the 3 Sugar Sin is pretty dangerous in the 5th at Gulfstream as well. So make sure you check that one out. All right, let's jump into the best bets of the day. Aaron, let's kick it off with you. You're headed back to the ice.
Yeah, listen, this is my honeypot right now, the Colorado Avalanche. The horse racing on Friday and Saturday at Oaklawn was tough with that sloppy track, but thankfully they have sports betting in Oaklawn. Avalanche were playing both days. They were like minus 110 both days, so we just went up and bet the Avalanche twice and never had to sweat it. Listen, they're at home still. I think, for my money, the Avalanche are the best team in the league right now as far as how they're playing right now. They host the New Jersey Devils, a team that I think is very solid, but I don't think they match up that well with the Avalanche. And I think right now, the way that the Avalanche are scoring, I don't think the Devils can keep up. I'll ride this Avalanche train until it bucks me. I don't like the minus 130, but I'm gonna tell you something. I learned something yesterday listening to Sharp Money with Patrick Maher, one of our good buddies. They were making a point, and they said sometimes it's better to take these minus 130s than to pair them up in a parlay with, say, a minus 200 or 300, so you get that plus money. Because a lot of times that one you think is the lock that gets you the plus money is the one that loses. And I thought, well, isn't that funny? Because that happens to us a lot.
Me.
Yes, and I thought of Papa Dude immediately, and I said, what a good point. I'd never really heard somebody kind of lay it out like that. And it's like, look, over time, like you're trying to get just to any kind of plus number. Just take the minus 130 if that's your strongest opinion. And they talked about Boston last night in the NHL being one of those situations. So I thought about that, and I thought, I'll just take this minus 130. It's my strongest play, and we'll eat the price. So I do like the Avalanche a lot tonight.
Yeah, Patrick all over Boston yesterday. He eked it out there in overtime. I can't play those road teams back-to-back nights. It's always tough for me. But Boston played well, able to get it done 8 in a row now. They were minus 130 last night, one of the shortest prices you'll see on Boston all year. Hey, real quick, I want to harp on the Avs for a second here because I think there are 2 other ways to play the Avs here. Can we all agree they flipped the switch? Like this Avs team is back to the Avs team that we saw last year.
Best team in the West. No doubt.
Who's the second best team in the West?
It's debatable.
The Avs are 3-1 to win the West right now.
Oh, I'll jump all over that.
You look at it, the second choice in the betting is the Oilers at plus 475.
Well, I would have to go with Vegas probably.
Then Vegas at plus 500, Dallas at plus 600.
I don't want a piece of any of that.
You don't want a piece of the Avs?
No, the Avs, yes, but I don't want anything to do with any of those rest of those teams.
The
I
Avs
wouldn't bet Dallas. I would not bet Dallas.
No.
If you look at how many ties Dallas has,
Yeah.
what does that tell you?
They're not gonna do it in the playoffs. Honestly, I would still take a flyer with Minnesota because I think they're underperforming and they're still right there. And it's like if they can just start to score, which I don't know why they're not.
Playoffs. They're not a playoff team.
You're probably right. I mean, but
I may or may not have bet a large amount of money on Avs 3-1 to win the West.
Well, aren't the Avs are in there with the Wild, right?
Yeah, the Avs right now. The Avs would play the Wild.
Well, they're not going to beat the Avs.
No,
that's why you can't take the Wild. You got to take somebody out of that other side.
That's fair.
If you look at the odds to win the Stanley Cup right now, Boston plus 450, Avs plus 600, Hurricanes plus 650, Leafs plus 850, Rangers plus 900. What do all those teams have in common? There's one team in the West. Everyone else is in the East. The Avs are clearly the best team in the West, and yet Boston is plus 250 to win the East, and the Avs are plus 300 to win the West. Makes absolutely no sense to me. It seems like a crazy overlay on the Avs there.
Oh, it is. No question.
If you take not even their last 10, their last 15 even, it's so much better than the previous 15.
Yeah.
And that's what you really, in hockey, you got to get hot right now. And it felt to me that they had injuries. That was one of it. But it just kind of felt to me the Avalanche, they kind of had that Stanley Cup hangover. And they kind of their experience, and they know these first 40 games, we don't really need to be world beaters, you know? I would go bet a large sum of money on the Avs to win the West. I think that is, because
I'll tell you another thing right now. You cannot take a team out of the East.
No. Because
you don't know which team's going to come through that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
They were talking about that yesterday on Sharp Money as well. And it's like the Boston Bruins, my God, all the respect in the world. It's amazing. They're going to have a really tough road to get there. I would not bet the Boston Bruins at a short price to win the Cup. Not in that conference.
Now, how many times have you seen the best regular season team get beat?
All the time. Yeah.
It's tough.
Blues 2000. Mm-hmm. that damn it. Half-ice goal from Nolan. Look, it still haunts me. Yeah. The Rangers are interesting to me now. The Leafs are a little more interesting to me now. Huge at the trade deadline. We talked about how good Carolina is. There's going to be some grinders of a series in the East as well.
You didn't even mention Tampa.
If you bet somebody in the East, you might go out in the first round.
You might,
and they play really well, and they could have won that series.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's crap.
Right, let's head over to my best bet. I'm going to take the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to lay the 10 because you know who they're playing? The Houston Rockets. I am playing against the Tankapalooza teams here out of the All-Star break. They are 1-5 against the spread. That would specifically be the Spurs and the Rockets. They both suck. They both want Wembanyama. They're both not playing their full team anymore. This is full-on tank mode here. And by the way, the Spurs won last night. They beat the Jazz in Utah. So now we are tied for the best odds to get the number one pick. Houston is not have any interest in winning these games. They play absolutely no defense. Memphis plays some defense, and that I think is the big difference here. I think the Grizzlies are able to hold down the Rockets, and the Grizzlies will just basically score at will against Houston. So I'll lay 10 with the Grizzlies. Rockets also playing a back-to-back here. Papa Dude, who you got?
I'm just going on a common sense logic bet today, which always fails me. So,
there's the L.
That's right. So it happens every time. All right. The only positive I could find on the other team in this game tonight is they're at home. That's the only positive, which is a positive. And the negative on Maryland is they don't play well on the road. So that's the problem. But we're getting 1 point. Maryland is at Ohio State. Ohio State is not very good. Now, they are coming off a win over Illinois, and they're not very good. The Big Ten, I can't figure this out. Here's a real short rant for me. Right now, they're getting 9 teams in the tournament. What? 9? This league is not that good.
Quad
You
one
know?
victories. That's what matters.
That's
apparently this
bullshit.
year.
It's not that good. Here you got, okay, Purdue. How are they still a number 1 seed? I do not understand this. Indiana, okay, we thought they were coming on. They got beat by 22 last night at home to Iowa.
I bet Indiana last night. I was so pissed.
Well, who wouldn't?
They didn't even show up. Not even
They
a little
didn't even
bit.
show up.
No.
And I thought they were the second best team. I'm not sure if there is a second best team. There's not a first best team. I mean, they're just all knocking each other off. Anyway, back to this. Maryland, we'll save my rant for our show, Aaron. Maryland only has a point.
More?
Great.
Oh, I got some other good shit for our show. Anyway. All right, I'm just going to mention this one. I looked this up. I do research, okay?
Okay.
There's like 84 teams that have won over 20 games in this Division One crap. 84 teams.
Uh-huh.
52 of them, 52 of the 84 that have won 20 games are from the lesser conferences, of which 0 is projected to get in as an at-large team.
See, Aaron, this is why I put him on the TikTok and Instagram thing. Look at
It was
what Papa
great.
Dude does. He's our guy.
Does that make a damn bit of sense?
It's all about those quad one victories.
Oh, that quad one crap. Are you telling me an 18-11 Rutgers is going to win the tournament? Wouldn't you rather see a 29-4 Charleston in the tournament that's not going to win it either, than an 18-11 Rutgers?
I would always rather see the smaller teams.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care about seeing the 8th best team in the Big 12 or the
Absolutely.
5th. Let me see some of these little scrappy teams that want to actually
Exactly. It would
fight
make
for
the
it.
tournament better. I mean, you can't put them all in. Here's what I would do. I'll save it for my show. Okay, back me. Maryland should win this game. We're only getting a point. If they lose, I don't give a shit. We're only getting a point. They're much better than Ohio State. So it just makes too much sense, even though Dr. Tang told me, don't do it.
Yeah. Dr. Tang mentions, I'm worried about it. There is sharp money coming in on Ohio State. That's why this is at 1 right now, is because there's some professional bettors and groups that are
Come
coming
on,
in
Buckeyes.
Ohio State here.
All right, I'm going back to my old given. If Maryland loses tonight, it's rigged.
Come on, Buckeyes.
Just blame the jockey, Papa Dude. All right, best bet for Dr. Tang here, Richmond. We're gonna get out of here because this is already off the rails and way longer than normal. Best bets for the day here: Aaron taking the Avs -130, Papa Dude Maryland -1. Give me the Grizzlies. I'll lay the 10 with them. Last week went 10-10, up $1.60 for the year, up $577. Thank you very much for joining us here on Do To Bet Daily. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, to keep talking about a monster week around both the sports and horse racing world. Good luck, everybody.